Hello, this is part 2, as promised, of how to be successful into your job application and hiring process. In the previous video that I've just shared is video 1, where it's more focused on graduate and how to get your graduate program and job. This is more related to direct jobs and when you receive the invitation to your interview itself. So if you are interested into the whole process of application and all those key factors on how to get that response from the hiring team, so watch video number 1 and follow the steps that I share there, because even if they're for like graduate programs, they quite often apply for also either all other direct entry as well. So when I'm, just to specify, when I'm talking about direct entry, I'm talking about normal job application where you enter and it's not a program for just graduate, but it's open for everyone. So moving on, I will cover on this video as well all the information related to how to prepare yourself for the interview itself, what are the key skills that you need to highlight, and what are the key exactly to be successful and what's gonna change the game. So stay tuned and watch the whole video, make some notes as well, and let's get into it. So starting with the amazing news of being invited into the interview. Finally, that's what we wanted to be. So now you have a big goal to achieve, which is to know literally everything about that company. You need to know the in and out, the history of the company, the problems, the challenges that faced. Has the company been acquired by someone? Has the company been recognized by the government or win a great prize for the year? Was the company renowned on some paper news, or did they achieve something extreme that they would like to be known for? You need to know all this. Is the company, what are the projects into the pipeline that are coming for the upcoming months to year? All these things you need to know. These are more generic about the whole company, depends if it's big or small, that you can find on the company website. Usually all they have, it's about the About Me section. You go there and find all the news and information that you need to know, and go also on LinkedIn as well and try to learn as much as possible. Moving on from the whole company, and make sure to know also all the values that the company stands for. Usually these are really highlighted when you enter into their website. You will find them as our values, our mottos, or what we stand for. Make sure you know them and keep them in your mind when you will be interviewed, so you can reflect into them and they can see their values in you. That makes sense. So once you have learned everything about the company itself, make sure to know now more about your manager. Who will be the person that you will speak to, you will interview from? Just to clarify, this question you can also ask it to the person that contacted you for the interview itself. Usually either they're gonna tell you, you will have an interview with da-da-da-da name, or they can just say the manager, hiring manager, or manager something, and you can reply to that saying, can you please provide me with the name or any information about this manager, so you can prepare yourself as well and know at least how to pronounce the name of the person when you get to meet them, because the last thing that you want to do, it would be to pronounce that or to not even know their name on the exact day, because we have already a lot to think on when we're gonna be there, and that would be just like a silly thing. But anyways, that can happen to me a lot, so it's fine. Just for you, make sure to avoid that as well. So once you know who is the person, go and try to learn as much about them as possible. What did they do previously? Did they work always into that field? Did they change previously? You can see all this information from LinkedIn again. All people, I think, that have career have their LinkedIn profile updated, or they try to interact there and network with other colleagues and people that have the same interest. So go there, try to connect with them, try to gather as much information as possible. So now that's the second task. Third task would be I would like to quote the person that I've took this information from, but I can't remember the name. It was from another video here on YouTube, and there was a really good tip and advice that I implemented it, and that really helped me. So what he was saying is to make sure that you have three big topics with history. For example, mine were one time where I got an achievement, a great achievement, and I was recognized for it. One time where I had a challenge and how I faced it, and one time where I completely failed. So I know that these might be a little bit tricky, especially you didn't prepare for them for the interview day, and you are there and they're asking you specific questions. You can't just waffle things and just say random things. There is actually a structure to follow for these questions, and usually they don't specifically tell you, but it's like such an information that they think, or who suggested this? Anyway, you should follow the STAR method, which it's like situation. What was the situation that you found yourself in? The STAR T, the task that you had to complete, that you've done. What was the action that you completed and the action that you took, and what was the result? Now, the result is the key, because you want to explain to the manager what was the results that you understand from it, and what that situation, what was the outcome. The team in general improved? Did the error of the company got reduced because of percentage? Did your time get utilized in a more proactively? You want to specify the result, because if you don't, you just left them confused. You just told them a story and you didn't tell them how was it, and I don't think nobody would like that. So make sure to tell them what was the end, how was the outcome, and the impact that you had on the company or on the team as well. After specifying that, those were like my three big buckets, meaning that I could modify those story based on the question that I might receive. Usually it's like they're gonna be more than three questions that they're gonna ask you, just to reassure you. They're gonna be more than three, but they might be really similar, so you can adjust your contest based on how the interview is going as well. But at least you have the stories in mind and you already know, so you don't waste time to think and analyze and everything, and you don't just waffle words. So once we are speaking at the interview, make sure to highlight those keywords. The keywords that I mentioned in my first video game. If you want to complete and watch it, these keywords are highlighted into the job description that you found out first. And I always suggest you to copy and paste this into a Word document to have it to yourself to prepare for all the stages of the hiring process. So again, if they're asking you questions, if you are seeing into the job description some particular words that are repetitive quite often, then understand that that's a keyword. For example, if you're in an interview and they're asking you, if it's like the interview is about a technical job like data analysis or analytics or I don't know, programming or computer or those things, and they're asking you about, like, I don't know, on the job description you see you need to know this program or this software or the name of a particular thing. So make sure, like, if you actually did it, if you it's really easy one, but like, of course, everyone I think has utilized Excel and somehow during our lives and our experiences. So if they are mentioning more and more Excel, like equation and all that, formulas and all that stuff, so just mention in the interview that you worked on Excel in a particular project, and the project was about this, blah blah blah, and what did you do? Or mention if it wasn't Excel, but it was like, I don't know, another SLQ, or I think it was SLQ, I'm not sure about that, don't quote me on that, for programming or anything. So just say, okay, perhaps you have taken a course, a private course on your own, which is not with the university or with your previous employer, and you took it on your free time and put your time and effort into it. And you can say in the interview, I didn't work on it on these particular, what you are saying, or like these things that the company is working on, but I took the basic knowledge of it and I know how to utilize it and work on it, because I did this. this test or this course or this project again. So always try to refer back to the job description when you are at the interview. Make sure that that's gonna be your in your brain. Once you complete the questions, basically a lot of them, as I mentioned, they're gonna be situational judgment. So once you complete all that, you might notice that they are being ticking something on their paper. It depends on their hiring process, and they are ticking those famous keywords that they want to hear from you, so that you can have more points and you will score more against the other people that are being interviewed for the same position, because that's how usually works. So like they see your skill, your soft skill, they see everything, they see how you speak, they analyze a little bit everything. So it's normal to feel a little bit under pressure on that positions and in that moment. Once you, for example, if like that's for technical, but if you are more in clinical and hospital and all like healthcare, like if I'm talking with my colleagues as well or friends, they always tell me that they have been assessed based on these keywords. I'm repeating them and repeating them just because they're really important, and you need to understand how to show them that you have the skills and those factors that they want in your speech. So try to make your best on that, because you might think, yeah, you're just speaking, but no, they are actually assessing what you are saying. So make sure to say it with some being conscious of what you're saying. And of course, show your enthusiasm and your passion for it and everything. I'm not saying not. Of course, do that, and that would be also the best to do. After that, I think, after all they ask you and they pass all that like regular thing that they have to do, now they're gonna ask you, do you have any question for us or for me? Depends if there are more or one. So that is the key. That is the key to unlock you and to highlight you compared to other people, compared to your competitors. That is the key that you need to utilize. Now, hear me very well. What you need to do is to ask them a lot of questions. This question, you must have prepared them before coming into the interview. These questions should arise when you are doing your research about the company. For example, did you do a research about, I don't know, a project, or did you see an article and you didn't understand something, or do you want to know something about it? That is the moment where you can ask it, and that is the moment where they can understand that you did your research. Of course, this is also the moment to connect with them on a more, I wouldn't say more personal level, but they should be some sort of connection on also soft skills, which is, can you like get over this like stressful environment that we are in? Because as you are stressed, they are stressed as well. They are there because they are assessing you, and like I don't think all of them like it that much, but yeah, just be there and show your enthusiasm and ask them about them as well. This is like always something that I do, is like when they ask you, do you have any question, ask them, how was your experience working at this company? Ask them, what was your career trajectory? How did you get here? Do you like everything that you do? Is there any challenge that you can see in this company or in the work task that I will perform? What do you expect from me? What if I get hired within 6 months or 3 months from now? What is like the key things that a person can do to be successful at this job? Believe me, they will remember you. What you want is like to be remembered after you exit that door, and asking this question will make a really big change. It doesn't come naturally to ask such questions, for example, because you just think that you are like being assessed, but in reality you are assessing them as well. Do you match? Like, do you see yourself working in there in the long run, or are you just wasting both of your time? Do you like, you need also to choose where you want, where it's gonna fit you well for you, and you would in the long run to find yourself in a team and a company where can value you and support you with how life it is. I know that of course that's just a job, but there is where you're gonna spend a lot of time of the day. So make your questions not personal, but anyways try to learn more about them as a human and how it's like as a team as well. Ask about the team. How is the team that you're gonna be working with? Can you see them a little bit? can they tell you more about them or something? All these questions, they are really relevant and they might not always come up from their end because they need to follow a structure, but you have the opportunity to ask them at the end, and they will remember you about from that. So after asking this question, this is the double now plus, because now comes the question where you ask, do you have any further feedback for me to take? Is everything clear? That have we had, like, do you feel that you have understand everything that I'm trying to explain, or is there anything that you would like me to cover or clarify a little bit more? They will take it as a really good view on you. They will see, okay, maybe I haven't understood this one. Can you perhaps explain me, if they do actually have any concern or question? So that is the position and the time where you can actually reframe what you have said and give yourself a second chance of double checking if are you leaving that room with a full, like, that you have actually explained all yourself and you poured everything that and showed all your interest and passion for that position. That is the time where you can explain that yes, I want it, but I also want you to understand if I did a mistake in explaining something, because of course it was a tension moment, and perhaps I can re-explain something for you if that can help to be successful. So that is the moment, and if they have also other further questions that to clarify because they haven't understand, so take that and on your advantage and re-explain it, or ask them, how do you feel this interview has been? Like, they might tell you, for example, that I can't actually disclose any information because there are other candidates that we need to assess, and that's okay. You wouldn't take it personally because in reality it is, so they can't actually tell you everything because otherwise it wouldn't be fair. But at least you have put it there out, like, for them to think how was everything going on. Of course they're gonna be assessing you, but you are leaving such like an impact on them that perhaps other candidate wouldn't be leaving. So that is your way to to stand out from all, is like to let them speak as well, to give them the chance to talk about themselves, to tell you their experience and everything. It's like scientific studies always say that if you are in a meeting or something and if you are giving the chance to speak about yourself, you always see yourself as heard and seen, and it's always interesting, and you remember the experience more than just listening to the other person speaking and just vomiting everything on you, and you just take it and that's it, and it ends, which will be the first way that you have been doing perhaps the interviews so far. But if you do this is gonna change. Like, it's gonna give them the opportunity to speak and for you to connect a little bit more, and they can see perhaps the possibility of how you will be working and how will be the interaction between you, like the person that it's like they are hearing them, and that is extremely valuable for them or for anyone. I think that will be in contact with that person for a long period of time, for many days as well. So I think this wraps a little bit everything. I hope that it was really helpful, and I hope that you can start to implement these skills and these small tactics in your interviews and in your job applications. If you do have any question, again, feel free to ask me anything. I believe it will be everything more clear also if you watch the first video, because it goes exactly through the whole process from first to end. And I will drop down Word document where I do have the job description and the question example perhaps that I can share with you if you're interested. If you're interested, anyways, just leave me, I don't know, maybe a comment saying, yeah, we're interested into that, we'll know a little bit more, can you specify on that? I'm super happy to help or explain anything, to be honest, as long as that, yeah, it helps you, that would make me happy. And I think, yes, that's a little bit everything for today. See you then next. Bye!